What is going on, guys? Today we are going through the top 5 players in each position. We are going to exclude hero and icons for this week only because then we should be getting some special icons coming very soon. So obviously with them the prices are still not incredible, so I would just say we'll wait for them, we'll have a look at the golds, some of the specials and see where we're at. Goalkeepers we're going to go through pretty quickly because every single time they are the same. Once you get to a price budget of about 40,000 now, I think the highest keeper is maybe 50 at a push. It's predominantly the same options. For me, in my top 5 order, I've got ter Stegen, I've got Donnarumma, I've got Ederson, I've got Alisson, and I've got Courtois. In that order, I think Courtois for me has always been a fan favourite. Naturally, he is one of them keepers. He's 6'7", very good stats across the board. Obviously, the Playstyle Pluses does have a certain level of what they can give you. The 1v1 close down is one of my favourites, bar from in corners. But in terms of that, I do like having him to be able to come out as quick as possible. We obviously have got Alisson, with the lovely Shield Deflector Plus. And then we've got Ederson with the Long Ball Plus, which is slightly patched but still available. Then Donnarumma has the Deflector. And then ter Stegen has the Footwork, which sometimes I could see being useful. But a lot of the time, not many people are going for that. They're going for a sweat. So having that doesn't really give me any kind of benefit at this point. So I think they're my top 5. Minyan's still on the options. Howard, Dudek, and all of the other icon keepers would be in there as well. But if I did it a top 5 on everybody, pretty much most of them will be icons. So let's move on over. We then go into left backs. Now, we've got a few different options that you're going in here, depending on what left back you want as well. And it's the same for the right back. If you like a fullback, a wing back, an attacking wing back, or just a generic fullback, it depends on what you want to go for there. And I think as we go further into the game, that's where we'll start to see a lot more pluses in every area, which will be very, very interesting indeed. Maybe somebody who is more of an attacking in something like a rule breaker could be more defensive. I don't know. It could be. But Ndogi is a cracking option for so cheap. He had to be in there. We have got Guerrero at left back, 87 rated, with obviously the total rush. To be honest, I'd probably whack him more of a midfielder, but if you've only got left back available and you need a Portuguese Bayern player, you are absolutely sold for this card. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins. With the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. The only thing is with special cards, they are increasingly hard to pack. It is honestly unbelievable. I've got plenty of gold cards, but when it comes to specials, very difficult to find. Next up on the list, we have got DeMarco. Very nice card indeed. Very much more of the attacking wingback, sort of kind of that left mid playmaker. Still got the ability to go up in rating, which is even better. Can reach the 89 and could potentially get a Playstyle Plus. Likely chances are he won't, but you never know. But again, another great option at left back. I think for me, very well rounded. Again, could be looking more towards the centre mid. Whack an anchor on him. 87 passing, 86 dribbling already. Fantastic option. Which leads us to the penultimate. We've obviously got Ferland Mendy. Absolutely unbelievable once more. There's very few that get ahead of him in my opinion. And for price, rating, how accessible he is, I think, and links as well. French and Real Madrid is going to be one of the best links you can get this year. He is just stunning. And even then, every year, stats-wise, don't get me wrong, it's good. Great pace, defending's okay, physical's really good this year, and the dribbling's a bit meh. But with the evolutions that you can get, it just makes them that slight bit better, which is fantastic. But number 1 on the option, it would be this one or the gold version. An absolutely incredible left back, still holding a massive price, which is just nuts in itself. Honestly, being like, what, 400-500k still at this point. I don't think many defenders, even Virgil, doesn't do that. So that's just incredible in himself. Yeah, he's coming in at 564,000 still. That is absolutely nuts. Which leads us to the right backs. We're going to start off with Mr. Trent. Now, different in terms of what you want. You can obviously put him as a CDM. To be honest, it's probably his better position, but what you have got is the roles where you can have him as a fullback plus, so you don't actually have to take out the CDM and maybe have the CDM working back on the defense more so than him. It's always a potential. 4-4, great upgrade. I think he's a solid right back. He's just not my sort of right back. I like how he plays, but he doesn't play in how I play. Which leads up to Walker next. Now he's slowly dropping down. Honestly, I really thought he'd be able to kind of withhold himself that little bit more. But when you look at the kind of top options now, it's kind of clear that he needs to be upgraded pretty quickly. The pace is fantastic. Defending could do with work, and same with the physical. But obviously that's what the anchor's for. It does enough, but I do think he is slowly kind of running out of time being the best gold right back in the game every single year. Because next to him we've got Dalot. Very, very good card. When you look at the stat difference as well, more pace, more defending, more physical, more dribbling defending. He's obviously got the 4-4 as well. And he's a very standard right back. There's nothing too crazy. Obviously has the wing back plus if you wanted. But I do like just how down the middle he is. Everything's good. Whack an anchor on him. You're absolutely golden. But then we do have Frimpong. Frimpong is absolutely mad in this game. Gold card was a little bit kind of... Not broken, but just a bit disappointed, to be honest. I think we kind of remember the team of the year, the footies. He was unbelievable. And then dropping down to an 84 is a bit of like okay, he's better once he gets the upgrade. Managed to get into the knockouts as well, so straight off the bat, he's got a big upgrade for him. Obviously, no playstyle plus, but he could potentially get one if Bayer Leverkusen finish in the top 2. He has got the chance to reach 90 rated if they could. And honestly, just a very good, well-rounded card when it comes to being that right back that also attacks. But my number one has got to be Gusto. In terms of a non-icon hero card, like obviously Maicon, Alberto, Cafu are just incredible in themselves. Gusto with the chance of an upgrade, which I think he will. I think he goes all the way for it as well, because you've got the win 2 matches, score 1 goal in 4 different league matches, as well as then the finish top 2. Chelsea, realistically in the Conference League, should smash that. So we could be looking at an 88 Gusto with obviously a playstyle plus. That would be absolutely nuts. That's going to be a fantastic card. We move into the centre-backs then. We've got a few of them, because obviously with centre-backs, it's a little bit more difficult. Some of them have playstyle pluses, some of them don't. Romero's going to start off this link. Very nice card in himself. Again, with the upgrade potential of 90. That would be incredible. And also playstyle plus, I suppose, is not... It's not completely unobtainable. It's very unlikely, but it's not obtainable completely for them. We then have Rudiger as a good bog standard gold bruiser plus centre-back. No nonsense, no nothing. Brilliant at it. We got Militao in his inform. We are starting to get some special cards now as well, believe me. Now, the only reason why he's not a little bit higher, no playstyle plus, which is a bit unfortunate, but I do think he slightly just beats out Rudiger. Both very similar, Rudiger just with 2 more on the physical, whereas 4 more pace on the Militao could be the big difference. Then we've got Arejo, who does have the block plus, very good in themselves. All of them from La Liga as well, as we kind of expected, but a stunning centre-back going into it. Which leads us then to the top 3. Now, I suppose you could argue these 3, or at least these top 2, because I think top 1's quite an easy self-explanatory one, especially with no icons or heroes. Tomori is absolutely unbelievable. Very, very good card. Block plus again. He does the business. But for me, I still, in fact, it's the top 4 cards. We've obviously got Saliba in here as well. Doesn't need too much of an introduction. Anticipate plus, which is one of my favourites. Very, very solid centre-back, and arguably top 2 with gold cards in the Premier League. But then you've got the likes of Yap Stam, who I'm yet to really give a good go. So we'll be interested to see where he goes with it. But Varane does beat him out slightly. Very, very good centre-back in himself. A great SBC if you've got him, especially with all the other links that you can get. And more than likely will get throughout the year. France is always a great SBC card to invest in, especially when they're at the level of Varane. Which is obviously going to be Virgil at number 1. I don't think there's any other way. Gold, road to the knockout, whatever you want to choose. He is the guy everybody has in their team. And the aerial plus is always a nice bonus when it comes to beating him for the corners. We then move on to some of the DMs then. So we've got Rodri in the first spot. He's not my sort of CDM because I do like a little bit more pace, so that kind of is fair enough. But I do think he still has a spot in this, being an incredible defensive-minded player. The defending physical, the passing, the dribbling has got something about him, especially with that tiki-taka plus. It will help out on the pace, but I cannot wait to see a Rodri with like 80 to 85 pace in the coming weeks. That will be nuts, just to see all of them stats way over 80, which is going to be incredible. We've got Conte, who again is very similar. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got 10 more pace, but it's kind of more the passing and dribbling that he's kind of missing out on. Obviously, the defending physical is there or thereabouts, but the intercept for me is absolutely nuts for him. He can play the plus for holding rather than Rodri being the deep line playmaker, and just incredible at what he does. We then have Tonali, great card. Absolutely love him in this role. He's so good at that kind of either defensive or box-to-box. The deep line playmaker is obviously his plus. He's just fantastic at it. And he's my sort of CDM, just with that little extra pace. It really does make a wonderful difference for me. We got Patry, who's one of my favourite super subs in the game. The long ball plus is incredible. It is broken and it works effortlessly into a power shot. So that is just a good reason to have her, to be honest. Again, more holding deep line playmaker. 4-star as well. Predominantly, she is going to be more of the passer, if anything. So I would suggest going with like a shadow or anchor to get her up with everything else. But she is predominantly the outlet of the CDMs more so than anything. Which leads us to Tchouaméni. Beautiful card. I know a lot of people are using him in centre-back. Regardless of where you go with him, he's got to have a big upgrade coming in the future. If he does manage to get into the team of the season, that is going to be an absolutely nuts card. If we're already on 88 already. Now, obviously, no playstyle plus is a bit unfortunate for him, but it just means that they will probably do a card once they start rolling them out. So once we start getting them, imagine to see a Tchouaméni quite easily. We then move on to the box-to-boxes. So we have got the likes of Thuram, but you didn't see that coming. He is unbelievable. What an SBC. What a player. He is or will get an upgrade during Ultimate Dynasties. I don't think there's any way that they don't do the Thuram brothers and their dad. It's kind of like the Ayus. I don't know if both Ayus are still playing, but obviously Abide Pele, I believe, is their uncle or cousin. I can't remember. I think it's their uncle. Just nuts in themselves. So there's a lovely set of trios that you can go with. Mbappe and Ethan, or also Kylian and Ethan, in fact, are going to more than likely be in it as well. There is a lot of brothers. I don't know if there's any triplets or any twins other than what we had with, like, Rafael and Fabio would have been incredible during that promo. But it's going to be interesting to see where he evolves to. But hopefully they do give him a playstyle plus, because realistically, what we're looking at 87, 88 without a pro. I'd probably say 88 to 89 without a playstyle plus. Probably more 87 with one. We then have Frankie, big boy Frankie in that 4-4. Great upgrade for the total rush. Loved his box-to-box nature in his gold card. And I think this card has just, again, accelerated that forward. Anchor, Hunter, Shadow, whatever you'd like. He's got the Travella and he'll go absolutely all night. We've obviously got the holding role for him as the plus. Playmaker plus, which is exactly where you want to have this card. Kevin De Bruyne up next. Now, I was arguing with him, is he a cam or is he a centre mid? And he is based as a centre mid more so than anything at this point. And I think the upgrade has definitely done him some justice here. Good pace upgrade, a little bit of defending, some physical. Obviously, the passing's absolutely incredible. But I think, again, very much like a Patry or a De Jong, he's going to fit wonderfully in the middle, being that playmaker. So then you could have somebody else as a cam that is the more shooting orientated, closer to the box, with a bit more pace and less defending and physical on him. We got Putellas as the total rush. 5-5, absolute dream. I was debating, who is it? Do I go Kev or her for the number 2 spot? But it's definitely going to be her with that 5-5. Very hard to get. Obviously, she's got some wonderful partners in Hansen, Patry, Bonmati. Then obviously the rest like Rolfo, who will more than likely get an upgrade at some point. Salma's in there as well. Some incredible links in that Liga F Barca squad. But she is absolutely a cut above the rest. Again, going for that Playmaker plus. But for me, still again one of my favourites. Playmaker plus. You are looking at Mr. Valverde. Incredible card. Everybody loves Valverde. The pace, everything. 82 is the lowest stat. Whack a shadow, whack an anchor, and you are looking at one of the best centre mids currently in this game that isn't an icon or a hero. So then we go into the right wings. Now, it's very difficult, I'm not going to lie. There is some incredible players that you can get in here. And I must admit, it was a tough list, but there is some ballers. Lauren James in the total rush, incredible. 5'4", great stats across the board. Like most of them, I think if you look at the top end, you're going to see good stats. So it's very hard to kind of go with it. It all depends on playstyle pluses. It depends on role plus. With my winger... Now, I don't mind going the inside forward. I think it works as long as they've got the plus there. But then, to be fair, the winger and wide playmaker also works in some aspects, to be honest. And obviously, with the right mid, you can see we can add to the wide midfielder as well. So there is a few different roles that you can go with. We then got Dembele, 5'5" to the dream. Absolutely killing machine. Just brilliant. He's got pace. He's got dribbling. He's kind of... The way I would personally describe him is he's very much a better version of Adama. Very quick, rapid plus. Dribbling is so much better than Adama, but the finishing is still a little bit lackluster with both of them. They can score, and they most definitely can get themselves in on the opportunity, but it's just not consistent enough. They are very much an assisting winger than they are anything else, but Dembele is absolutely worth every penny. Next to him, we're going to go with a bit of Messi. Now, he's put himself back into the top spot once more. 4'4" with his 90 rated total rush. I'm very surprised they gave an Mbappe a card like this, but Messi, Ronaldo, get them in early, get the upgrades going. Same with Neymar, to be honest, as well. It's quite an easy one to go with there. But again, left stick dribbling is going to be absolutely crazy for him. The only thing I don't really like, I'm not a big fan of the technical plus, so if they could change that or add another one, that would be much appreciated. Because we've got Salah next with the finesse shot plus, the 4-star skiller, obviously coming in on the right on his left, incredible pace, shooting and dribbling, does lack a little bit of physicality and passing, is considerably worse than Messi's, but realistically, Messi's got the free kicks added up to 95 as well. Not saying that it's crazy close, but it's most definitely much better on the Messi end there, but Salah is just a dream on that cutting. The finesse shot from the top of the box, get it over with the right angle, you're scoring pretty much every time. But number one does go to the 5-5 Team of the Week, or Gold, Hansen. Very, very nice card once more. Again, once we get to Team of the Year, if she does manage to get in, she is just going to be an absolute bomb to go and get. She is incredible. The Trickster Plus is the only thing I'm like, we could do with better, really. Rapid, quick step, finesse, Travella, power shot, whatever you want to go with there, would be so much better than that Trickster, in my opinion. Which puts us on to the penultimate position of left wing. Now, we've got some very good cards, and I do think a lot of them do come from hero and icons as well. The likes of Hazard, we've obviously got Ribery, we've got Ronaldinho, Rivaldo. You've even got a Bale on the other side now as well. I don't know whether he can play left wing or so. But today we've got Kvaratskhelia, the player of the month, the SBC-wise. I don't think he's necessarily like a crazy bad value, but... I'd say the only reason that he'd ever be super worth it is if you've done all the other Serie A players as well. Bale can play left wing as well. So if you've done the Thuram brothers, you've done Godfrey, you've done Varane, Di Lorenzo, then yeah, I'd probably say he's probably worth a bit of your time. The main thing for me, he's got the pace, the dribbling, the shooting, the passing, but it's the 5-5. It's very hard to get. Obviously, for him, he's got no playstyle plus, which is unfortunate yet. But he has got the 5-5 in every single version. I'd say that is very difficult to get at this point until we get a few promos in at the very minimum. And he also can play right wing as well if you'd really want him to. Next up is going to be Total Rush Neymar with the hat. Everybody loves him. He's definitely took a step back in this game. He's not quite the Neymar that we wanted, but this version most definitely is much better than what we have seen in the past. So I'm absolutely all for it. Very expensive still. Got the Trickster as well. Unfortunately, it seems to be a lot of the wingers do have that, which leads us into Leao. Very much like Teo. An incredible amount of price for him. Honestly, at 86 rated, you never really see them at 465,000. Absolutely nuts. I think that has got to be one of the top gold cards already. Like obviously, we've got Teo, like we said, at 5 something. So realistically, at this point, we have got Mbappe as number 1. We've then got Vinny at number 2, Hansen, Teo, Putellas, Valverde, and also then Leao. just an achievement and a half to be able to be that high up. Rapid plus, obviously, with that pace. Could do with the shooting and obviously passing boost, but you can go like a finisher if you want passing and dribbling. I don't know if I'd go all round and try and go for the passing. I think I'd just end up going for the finisher. 94 pace is more than enough, to be honest. Maybe you could go for shooting and physical instead. Go with a sniper, I think it is. Might be worth looking at the minimum. But then it does go into some big boys. We've obviously got Sonny Baby here. The finesse shot is an absolute dream. You can play him up front and on left wing. He does the business every single time. And he is just wonderful at it. But Vinny's obviously got to be number one. Shocked that he hasn't got the 5-5 straight off the bat, to be honest. I suppose they're just giving him the availability to maybe not upgrade the overall, but give you a 5-5 Vinny. More than likely, we'll see that in Foot Birthday. But an incredible card, again, like 1 point something crazy. I think this card might be even worth way more. His gold card's 1.7, 2.9 mil for this card. Just absolutely nuts. Which leads us to the strikers. Now, we have got different ways to play as a striker once more. I do think Haaland, as pricey as he can be, he's a bully boy up front and he absolutely owns it. It's not the most conventional way. I've been seeing a lot of pop-up power shots, finesses from absolutely everywhere, over-the-top balls from kickoff. There's just so much to counteract, and Haaland doesn't fit the mold for most of them. But his shooting ability is second to none. Like, it's absolutely incredible. We then have CR7, mainly with the power shot plus kind of glitch mechanics that it's broken. That's kind of be the big reason why he's kind of in here, because obviously it is Ronaldo. He's had a big upgrade on obviously pace. His shooting was already fantastic, and the power shot is just going to add absolute levels to this card. And in terms of everything else, absolutely brilliant. And I think I'm becoming more of a fan of the advanced forward. I think it has a lot more to offer, as much as I do like the poacher as well. There's kind of a few different ways that you could approach him. Moving on to a bit of greasy. Now, again, you've got the finesse shot. Depending on which one you're more comfortable with, I think the finesse is definitely, and I wouldn't even necessarily say an easier mechanic to break, but you don't have to aim with it as much, so I'd kind of see a lot more people being able to do the finesse than the power shot, even though you kind of just got to aim at goal for the power shot anyway. I'd definitely say there's more screw-ups on that because it is a manual shot rather than anything. Whereas Griezmann on the ball, this upgrade is absolutely wonderful for him. We then have Sophia Smith, incredible. Hence why we've got like Alex Morgan and all the SBCs, Swanson, we've got Watt with the foundation, just so much that she can offer. Obviously stats are incredible as always. First touch, so we are waiting for a better playstyle plus for her, but she was great last year at the start. She had a brilliant team of the year, and again, no difference whatsoever. Which leads us to Mr. Killian. Now, with him, like, I understand that they were going for all out with Total Rush, and I like what they've done, but as then after Total Rush, we got announced that Dynasties is coming, or at least has been leaked to be in the code. The fact that we could get the first Dynasty Mbappe with obviously his brother being in the game now, I'm kind of surprised they didn't just leave Mbappe, because realistically, they either go 3 ways. Well, in fact, they can't, because they won't give him a second play style plus for Dynasties. Like, that's going to be Team of the Year again, like we got last year. So either they give him a 92 again and maybe change some stats, maybe give him a bit more of a physical boost. They either give him a 5-5, which I think is far too early in the game to be doing that. So it's a shame that they went for this one. I'd rather have got one in Dynasties and not already then have a 91, a 92, and a 93 Mbappe. Because you know the next Mbappe coming will be a double play style plus, and more than likely will be 93 again. So it's a bit of a shame with that one, but it's still obviously incredible. I'm hardly moaning that we're getting too many Mbappes, but it's just like we don't need so many of the same card. Give that spot to somebody else, somebody massive. Go for a Saka Total Rush. Go for a Nunez Total Rush. That's someone different. Mbappe's gold is still going to be available in Team of the Season and still going to be one of the best strikers in the game already. So let me know down below your favourite players. Let me know how you're getting on, and hopefully we do get something good for Trailblazers.